Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part three on our unit on the principles of marketing. Remember, these are the fundamentals of marketing. And today's lesson kind of diverges away from the text that I was pulling sources from. Remember, I told you that the first section was based off of, or I told you in the first section that the information presented was based off of a textbook that I purchased while I was at college from Kotler and Armstrong, and it had the same title that of the lesson. We had the principles of marketing, right? And that information also fell in the second unit, all right? So in this unit, I'm pulling from a different source, and it's from personal information that I have, as well as other resources. And you'll see those sources cited here shortly, right? So what we're going to start off with first is, well, what are some of the characteristics, or what we call business soft skills, okay, of business leaders, more specifically, marketing leaders. In other words, somebody who's a leader in marketing. And you'll see more on our video series about business soft skills a little bit later on, okay? But with that in mind, let's go ahead and talk about some of these things. Now, there's a whole bunch of words on here, vocabulary terms, or terms that you need to be familiar with, right? Now, notice how I haven't provided the definitions here. Why would Mr. C have you to know about these words here, or these ideas, or these terms, and not provide you the definition? Well, hello, you're in the 8th grade, right? You have the means to look it up. If you're watching this on the internet, that means you're connected into the internet, and you can just simply type in the word D-E-F-I-N-E, define, space, and then choose your word, right? Integrity, servant, humble, so on and so forth, all right? So there we go, all right? You can do this on your own. We're connected to the internet, so let's get rolling on a couple of key ideas here, right? So we learned that if a business is going to grow, right, and you're going to and people are going to grant you the ability to exchange something, right? In the case of America, we exchange cash for something, exchange for a return of something. Then your company needs to be filled and operate ethically, right? And so ethically might also deal with operating with integrity that you see right there, right? So integrity then is the ability to do things following a moral guide, always doing what is right, okay? Also kind of goes with integrity or ethics, right? Not doing the ethically correct thing sometimes, but not all the time. But integrity means you're doing it all the time, right? Servant, okay? Being a servant doesn't mean that you're bringing people out their food on a plate or that you're a doormat, then people are going to constantly walk on you, right? Being a servant means that you are making good decisions for the branch of the business that you're working for, right? And that you're doing things to serve others so that the company's interests are served, okay? So in the case of marketing, you're just not saying, okay, every idea is a good idea, okay? Everybody's a winner. No, not really, because every idea isn't a good idea. You got to decide the good from the bad. You got to serve the company, right? You got to be humble, okay? That's definitely an important thing with marketing, because if people perceive you to be this really big, egotistical individual who cannot never make mistakes, at least that's how people perceive him, that may not take you far, right? So you got to be humble. You got to be filled with vision. And we're going to talk about vision here shortly. You've got to be decisive. In other words, you've got to make those decisions, okay? And when you make a decision, you got to stick with it. And sometimes those decisions come quickly. You've got to be disciplined, all right? Remember, discipline doesn't mean that, okay, you're being sent to discipline because you did a bad thing. Disciplined means that you govern yourself so you're doing the right things all the time, even when no one is looking, right? Constantly doing what is right, what is needed, okay, for the business to be successful. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing, okay? I'm not talking about kissy, smoochy passionate, okay? What I'm talking about is you got to love what you do. If you're in marketing, you love marketing, all right? If you're working with social media, you love social media, all right, as a part of marketing. And you could really, and you're so passionate about it, you know the ins and the outs, you've studied it, and you're not just like, oh, I can make a post on Instagrams, okay? Or, yeah, that book of faces I always post on there, that makes me a particularly awesome individual, and I'm really good at it. No, being passionate means you know the ins and the outs, okay? You've studied it, All right, you know what's going on. You know what the analytics mean. You know what drives people to do business somewhere, or what works and what doesn't work as far as bringing people in and creating awareness of the product, especially in regards to marketing. You've got to be loyal, okay? Yeah, okay? That goes without saying. You can look that one up on your own. You got to be a good listener. Listen to those around you, okay? Actively listen. Listen to the customers to see what they're wanting, that kind of thing. Being influential, that's a really, really important leadership characteristic as well, right? If you make a decision, you're influential in decisions that are being made, okay? Influential in, the things that you do, okay? You can look up that word on your own. Again, I'm just covering these briefly. You can go over these on your own, all right? You've got to be driven to succeed. That's important. And of course, a little bit of charisma helps, all right? I put charisma as the last thing because you don't need to be charismatic to be good at marketing, okay? Because some people are just behind the computer going, well, I had these really good words in typing and I can type it, but don't put me as the face of the company, right? However, other people like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates are a little bit more charismatic about the delivery of their services and items and options and so on and so forth. You kind of get the idea, right? Alrighty here. So let's then define a few other things, all right? Let's look at what some businesses and some entities do to share how they are going to operate, all right? Now, some businesses, what they do is they create a mission statement, okay? And a mission statement, what that does is it tells either the people that you are working for you as a business, right? Or it tells your customers, or it tells both, right? What you want to do, okay? Now, if your business is only in the business to make money, we're in the business to make money, well, then you probably don't need a mission statement, okay? And that will clearly be perceived as you move forward in the business, all right? People will be able to figure it out on their own, okay? We talked about that, right? And the building relationships and so on and so forth, right? But other businesses might be able to perceive something, or customers might be able to perceive something, and you need a way to communicate how you're going to operate the business, all right? So what businesses have done is they've created mission statements. And you'll find mission statements, sometimes they're internal. That means only the employees know them. Sometimes there's external, okay? In other words, the customers know about it. And sometimes it's both internal and external. In other words, there might be a mission statement for the business and the business employees or management, and there might be a mission statement for the customers that's given to the customers, okay? So usually a good mission statement will have a vision, okay? A vision. What does vision mean, all right? Well, yeah, having vision is the ability to see something. Mr. C, what about people who can't see? Do they have vision? Well, sure they do, okay? And they might envision something like, hey, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have this nice breakfast, right? And they're going to have the means and provide the means to have this great breakfast, okay? If that's what they want, it takes vision. What am I going to do? What are we going to do as a business? How are we going to operate? What are the goals, right? Those are the things in the vision, right? And those usually are long-term goals or overall goals, all right? It might be shared with customers. It might be shared with the employees. And again, it might be shared with both, okay? Again, each one is different, okay? I worked for a company that had several different mission statements. One that governed how the executives would operate, one that governed how the managers and the departments would operate, and then one that the customers kind of saw when they came in the door or what have you, right? Vision needs to be shared early and often because it gives direction. It's like the captain navigating a ship, right? All right, the boss wants us to do this, so this is what's going to happen, all right? That kind of thing, right? Now, as an entrepreneur, you can see why vision might be very important because it gives direction to the people that work for you. Now, in order to do that and communicate that vision, people will often come up with a mission statement. It is a clear statement of what the company wants to do and how they're going to do it, all right? And again, usually it's not, hey, we're going to make money. Okay, no, that's not the right mission statement you want to cross to your customers, right? Especially if building relationships are key, right? And it needs to be understood that if someone complies to the vision and the mission, right, that, hey, we're assured that we're going to hit the right targets, okay? Now, the trick is you don't want this mission statement to be too long or too complex. Some people, you'll hear the word convoluted. Okay, that means it's all kind of wacky and such, right? It's there, but it's worded so weird. Like, yeah, I think it's peanut butter, but it says the butter from peanuts turned into a paste. Well, that's a convoluted way of saying, peanut butter. All right, so there you go. All right, so I'm going to share a couple of mission statements. I'm going to share my mission statement with you, and then you can kind of see how these work. And the ultimate goal here is for you to compose your mission statement. And we're going to talk about that in the assignment here in just a few moments. All right, so we're going to look at some examples, all right? Now, this first mission statement here from the Lampo group, all right, comes to me from a place that Dave Ramsey operates. We're going to learn more about Dave Ramsey in my unit on personal banking and finance, okay? And that personal banking finance unit. Really, really awesome stuff, right? And budgeting and all that kind of good stuff. When we get there, you'll hear more about Dave, right? However, he owns the Lampo group, all right? Now, let's read his mission statement here and see if we can figure out if this is being communicated to the business people, being communicated to the customers, or both, okay? All right, so the statement reads, the Lampo group is providing sound, common sense education and empowerment which gives hope, notice the capitalization there, to everyone, from the financially secure to the financially distressed. All right, is that a mission statement for just the employees, just the customers, or everybody? If you said everybody, you nailed it, right? All right, so yeah, what are they trying to do? What do? They provide financial help in some way, shape, or form, right? Who do they provide financial help to? The financially secure and the financially distressed, okay? In other words, people who aren't as secure financially, right? People who are struggling with money, okay? It gives them, what do? They give sound education and empowerment, right? Common sense education, which gives empowerment to give financial hope to people, okay? There you go. All right, so that's one. Now, let's read this next mission statement and see if we can figure out this is for the customers, for the employees, or both. All right. McDonald's brand mission is to be our customers' favorite place and way to eat and drink. Our worldwide operations are aligned with a global strategy called Plan to Win, which centers on an exceptional customer experience, people, products, price, place, promotion. All right. By the way, those are good marketing terms, by the way, right? Considering the people, considering the products, consider the price, place, promotion, all good elements of marketing, right? Now, here's the thing. Do you think this is for everybody? Do you think the customers care about Plan to Win and their global strategies and people, price, place, price, promotion? If you said no, they don't care, you nailed it. That's right. This is for their employees or their management or their marketing team. Okay? So yeah, all right. So this is not going to be given to the customers itself, more than likely, right? I just happened to stumble across this on the internet during a search for great company mission statements, and I thought this was applicable. All right? So there you go. All right? So two good examples. All right. Now, if you are ever asked to create a mission statement, like you will be done in a few minutes, right? Or that will be done in a few minutes, right? You might want to consider using these websites, all right? So if you need to type these in, you can. Or if you're watching this on video and you have access to my PowerPoint, okay, go ahead and open the PowerPoint and slides, or just download the PowerPoint, and you should be able to open by Control or right-click and then clicking on the link itself, right? And these are great sources for writing mission statements. Now, I'm going to provide you with Mr. C's mission statement, and then I'm going to give you the assignment here, all right? Now, Mr. Cato's vision, that's what I want to have done, right, for his classroom is to educate students on the skills and tools needed for a modern and ever-changing workforce. Okay, that's my goal. That's what I want to accomplish, right? His mission is to enable this, right? So I'm going to make this happen by providing relevant instruction, okay, by maintaining high expectations of his students, by being a role model and by assuming all students will grow with the information, the practices, and strategies needed for the real-world working environment. All right, that's my mission statement. We went over this on day 1 together, right? So yeah, there you go. This is clearly what I'm going to do, right, and how I'm going to do it. This is a well-written mission statement. It's not too long, right, not too short, and it's a clear set of goals, all right? So let's see what we'll actually be doing. Now, if you notice on the activity, okay, the activity has a blank space like you see here, right? Yours is in black and white. This is in orange color. I don't remember if it's black and white color, but whatever. Right? Here you go. You have a blank space here. This is where you're going to write your mission statement, okay? Now, hopefully, after reading the examples and looking at the examples it's not going to be, I'm going to be awesome at everything. Okay? Hopefully you can do better than that. We're in the 8th grade, right? So here's what we're going to do, okay? I want you to consider what you will be doing in the next 4 years. What are you going to be doing in the next 4 years? Mr. C, we're going into high school. That's right, all right? So you're going to create a mission statement that you can enact for that time period, all right? So you're going to think about yourself as a student and maybe even thinking in the forward future, right? Okay? Statements must consist of a mission and vision. Remember, vision is what's going to happen. Mission is how you're going to make it happen, all right? All right. And it's going to be for this personal endeavor. In other words, your personal endeavor. Endeavor is not a word, Mr. C. All right. These must be grammatically correct and personally relevant. All right. Example. Okay. If your goal, okay, is to go to tech school, right, have good grades to go into tech school, right, and then go to the workforce after going to tech school and learning a trade, okay, great. That's awesome. So what you would write is, blah, 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 vision is to pass high school with good grades to get into tech school, period. His mission is to enable this by, and then tell me what you're going to do to get there, right? How are you going to do that? Okay, there you go. All right, so that brings me to the end of this lesson. Make sure that activity is taken care of and accomplished, and we'll see you guys on the next go round.